action.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chase Langford, an artist here in California, and I am so excited because Elder Gallery of Contemporary Art in Charlotte has asked me to do a takeover of their Instagram account today. So it's going to be a fun day with lots of new content, so keep an eye on their account here on Instagram. I'm going to pour myself a little coffee because I'm just waking up. Fortunately, I'm a morning person, so this all works well. Let me take you out to the mountain, to the view here. And as you can see, the sun is coming up here in California, hitting the mountain. So we're going to be showing, I'm going to be putting lots of content on today. It'll be a lot of fun. We are going to now cut from here to a pre-recorded live video of a Q&A session, and these are all questions that people from all over the world have sent in to ask me about my art, about the gallery and so forth. So we're going to cut next to my studio. Hello and welcome to my studio. Now we're going to do a Q&A that Elder Gallery initiated. What they did is they asked on Instagram and other platforms some questions, everyone to contribute some questions. So here we go. How did you become connected with Elder Gallery of Contemporary Art? Well, a friend of mine was at the ski resort at Park City, Deer Valley, and met someone associated with the gallery, and she spoke about me and they were interested, and that's how it happened. It was on the ski slopes of Park City, which is pretty chic, I think, in a way. Anyway, kind of fun. So I think the point of that is you never know when a connection's going to be made and how. So it's all good. What was your experience like in Charlotte during your first exhibition at Elder Gallery? Well, it was great. I'd never been to North Carolina before. I really enjoyed Charlotte. The gallery space is amazing. It's a purpose-built gallery space. Most galleries are reused, repurposed spaces, but this is really quite extraordinary. So I highly recommend you go there and experience the space and see how well it presents the art. I had a show with Susan Brenner, a two-person show, and it was a fantastic event, and lots of people came, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Everyone at the gallery is amazing, very engaged and professional, and so nice, and just really, it was an extraordinary experience. I loved it. Next question. How are you enjoying your new studio in Palm Springs? Well, it's fantastic. I have amazing light in here, big picture windows and so forth. And I have an auxiliary storage space as well. So it's really nice to have a great space to work in. It's in an industrial area, which is surprisingly incredibly quiet and so forth. So it's great. Has the desert influenced my work? I haven't been here that long, so I'm going to say not yet, but stay tuned. What sparked your fascination with maps at a young age? So just a little background. At a young age, I discovered maps and was just mesmerized by them. I found them I remember first in the glove compartment of our, Country Squire station wagon, the ones with the fake wood siding. And then my parents would bring maps home, and I'd get them at the gas station or wherever, and it was a window to the world. I looked at them and immediately could imagine the place or try to figure out the place. And that was exciting to me because as a young person, you want to discover everything and get out there in the world. So it's a window to the world, I would say. What impacted your departure from exact cartographic representation to abstract? So just to explain that a little bit, I was actually a practicing cartographer. I studied in college, and I was a cartographer at UCLA for many years. Amazing experience. And then I did these map paintings that literally you look at them and you could see a map. You could recognize Italy or whatever. But I wanted to make a leap from that. I wanted to break away from cartographic rules and conventions. So it was rather sudden, and I did just set myself free and decided I'm going to let the experience of having drawn and studied maps for so many years, B, my visual sensibility towards abstract painting. Let's see. Were your parents also creatives? My dad was in advertising. He did display advertising, meaning print advertising, mostly for newspapers. And he was very creative. He would design the ads and so forth. And I can remember as a kid, he would explain to me, why an ad is created that way, hierarchy, how every little element means something, and it's all part of the greater piece. So at a young age, he taught me to really look at things. And my mom was incredible. She was a fashion clothes buyer, so she had an amazing eye for clothing. She was a bit of a fashionista. No, she was a fashionista, but and it just had great style, and also was highly visual, also interested in interior design and so forth, but just a keen eye. And my mother was very aware of fashion trends and what worked and what didn't, and I was always amazed by her. She was an incredible woman, both my parents. Amazing. I'm so blessed. Do you collect artwork yourself? If so, tell us about a favorite piece in your collection that prompted you to collect that work. Well, I did, and I brought that piece today. This is by Chuck Swenson, and what we're looking at is, it's a rather peculiar portrait, if you will, right? And you might wonder why, how was this sourced? It looks like maybe a soldier. It turns out that he paints from the little molded soldiers, the little tiny ones. So, those molds aren't very exact and so forth, and get dinged up and everything. So that's where you get this sort of unusual look in the work. And I think they're really great. Chuck Swenson. Put that back over here. And next question. Boom, boom, boom. Who are some of your corporate collectors? If you look on the Elder Gallery website, you'll my CV will list all of them. I can't rattle them off now, but I have a few. I'll just mention Four Seasons Hotel, J.P. Morgan Chase, the MGM Hotel in Macau, China, Saks Fifth Avenue, UBS. I'm also in the Long Beach Museum of Art in California. And celebrities. Yes. Do any celebrities have your work? Pete Sampras, he's a tennis star. Michael Dell, as in computers. Magic Johnson, who famous basketball player, now a highly admired entrepreneur. And Monique Lullier, a fashion designer. Let's keep going. What advice can you offer an artist who is getting started? I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm also near the airport. I like the roar of the engines. Advice getting started, or what's the best advice you ever received? So one of the advice I ever received, Alexis Smith, who's a prominent assemblage artist in Los Angeles, came and saw my work, and she was delightful and very interested in my work. But one comment she made, and this is years and years ago, she said, just get ready, because being an artist it's work. It's a job. There's standards and there's expectations. It's not just, I'm going to start painting or it's all going to be fun and games. It really is a big commitment. And I've always remembered that and appreciated that advice. The other thing I'd recommend is Molly Barnes wrote a book called How to Get Hung, meaning how to get hung in a gallery, a painting hung in a gallery. And she's amazing. She is a icon in the fine art world, curator and a dealer and so forth. And this book has, I think, some of the best advice for artists. It's just no nonsense, really straightforward book. I think it's out of print, but you can probably find it. And I was blessed because a few years ago, Molly Barnes actually came and spoke. I had a solo show in New York City, my first solo show there, and she spoke at my event on my behalf, and that was quite an honor. Next one. What was your first experience like seeking representation by a gallery? Any advice you can give to artists trying to seek representation? I don't know if this is good advice because this is what I've done, so think about it. But my feeling is that I want the gallery to find me, which means I'm going to paint and work and develop my craft and my vision and what I do as much as possible. And when the right gallery spots me, they'll know it and they'll approach me. And literally all the dealers, all the galleries I'm in, all have found me. I have not gone knocking on their door. Now, that may be a good thing to do, but remember what comes first. I guess the important message here is to really know that you're ready. I know that when you create new work and you're starting out, you're really excited about it. But as the years go on, you'll find that you may look at some of that early work and go, okay, I didn't have quite my bearings yet, or my vision, or my direction. So that's my advice. Anyway, I've really enjoyed this Q&A. Elder Gallery in Charlotte, North Carolina is amazing. And I wish you all get on their website and check them out. And all my best to everyone. Take care.